Welcome back to Teatorials, and thanks for joining us for week 7. This week we'll be taking a closer look at black tea, the tea that has formed the majority of our tea drinking habits in Britain for generations and possibly the type of tea we most often associate with a simple, straightforward cup of tea. Like all great things though, not really that straightforward. There are many different types of black tea. A lot of these are known by origin or growing region, but a lot of the black tea is also blended to form the drinks we are actually most familiar with. Firstly though, let's consider the process. Unlike white tea, green tea and oolong tea, black tea has been fully oxidised, hence the black colour of the leaves. So following harvest, the leaves undergo a period of withering to again start the oxidation process and change the pliability of the leaves. Depending on the desired end product, the next step is done in an orthodox fashion, producing larger leaves, or by cut, tear, curl, producing smaller leaves, many of which will end in tea bags. The purpose of these steps is to break the tea into smaller leaf pieces and roll them into a shape. These methods will not produce whole leaf tea. That would require hand rolling. Once the leaves have been shaped and rolled, they are intentionally left to oxidise and turn black, ahead of finally being fully dried. Once dried, the leaves are sorted and graded ready for packing. The greatest black tea producing regions of the world include Assam, Ceylon, Nilgiri, Darjeeling, parts of China, and nowadays, of course, Kenya. Indeed, a huge percentage of the black tea drunk in Britain today is from African plantations. Traditionally, we would have mainly drunk Indian and Sri Lankan tea in our blends. Of all the black tea produced in the world, there is a lot of variance in taste and quality. The larger leaf Darjeeling teas, for example, have their very own very unique flavours, and they're quite different to the lower grade dusty teas produced in Africa and India for tea bag use. Regardless, they are still black tea. Blending black tea is integral to our tea drinking history in Britain. We will cover this in more detail in the blending tutorial, but more often than not, our everyday brews will contain tea from multiple countries, or will have some kind of flavour added along the way. Black teas are usually the strongest flavoured teas and tend to brew deep red and brown colours. For this reason, black tea is the only type of tea you can really add milk to. There are so many black teas to pick from, but it is worth looking beyond the traditional builder's brew and experimenting with some of the regional teas to look for more flavour profiles. Consider some large leaf Assam. Look out for robust malty flavours, or some Chinese Keemun, a bit smokier and more aromatic, or some delicious Darjeeling, far more delicate with very fruity, nutty notes. Always use hot water to brew your black tea, around the 95 degrees Celsius mark, and allow your tea a good 2 to 3 minutes to brew. This will make sure all the flavour is released. As a lot of people do nowadays, try to avoid dunking your tea bag. There is certainly more to our cup of tea than meets the eye. Next time you make a brew, have a think about the journey from fresh green leaf to cup. It really is truly remarkable. See you next week.